Hello and welcome back. Today I've got another ink sample review for you. This one is by Diamine and it's called Spruce. So I'm just going to shake this up real good. I haven't used it, don't know what's in it, so let's just see. Okay, oh, this has a definite, I think this is scented. That smells really, really good. So if this isn't scented, then this is just, they did something with this ink to make it smell good though. Yeah, I think that's definitely scented. That's pretty cool. I was not expecting that. So, all right, so we have a scented ink for today. That's awesome. I love it when there's surprises or special effects in the ink. And scent is really nice because it's something that you wouldn't be able to see in a picture. Kind of like how we're doing this video here. You know, you can't smell it, but you'll just have to take my word for it that there's definitely a scent there. So it's a nice, fun surprise because even if you hear about it in a review, you're not going to know what it smells like until you get your own bottle. So I definitely recommend trying this one out just for that reason alone. I love the scented inks. Even though I am sensitive to fragrances, the ink that typically isn't strong enough to bother me. And also when you're writing with it, you know, you're not just overwhelmed by fragrance, so they're not too bad. If you've never tried a scented ink and maybe you are, I don't know, allergic to scents or something, usually with these inks it's not super bad. What I'm doing right now is trying to pop some bubbles. There we go. In fact, since we got this lovely little circle here, never tried stamping with it. Okay, anyways. All right, so let's go ahead and write the name on here. This ink feels really smooth. And it seems to lay down a lot of ink on this pen. It's very nice. I'm going to set that aside and we'll get some papers. So I'm going to start with copy paper. And the reason is that sometimes you only have copy paper available and maybe you want to know if the ink will perform well. Maybe you're going to be using this at school or at work and you want to know how the ink performs because you don't have access to your fancy papers at school or work sometimes. And that says C. Okay, and this is copy paper. So right away, I can see that this is feathering a little bit. And this glass pen lays down a lot of ink, so maybe that's part of the problem. But if feathering doesn't bother you, this is a really pretty green, very nice, deep, foresty green. It smells good. So let's set that aside to let that finish drying. This is HP 32. This is also a type of copy paper, but it's thicker and it has a nice finish on it. It's very, very smooth. And I believe that just allows the ink to settle on top and show off its properties a little bit better. HP 32. So the reason I like this paper is sometimes if you can't get the Tomo River paper or some of the other nicer papers, if you can get this, it'll usually show off at least a little bit some of the fancy properties. It makes it kind of a fun paper to use, and especially at the lower cost. So this really deepens that green shade, but we'll give it some time to finish drying and use test this on the Tomo River paper next. And this paper, if you've never used it before, it's really, really smooth and very thin, and the ink really pools on it nicely, and you see lots of the fancy special effects. This is Tomo River. So I really like the way this ink is laying down on the paper. I guess this would be considered a wet ink maybe, just because of how much ink is coming off the pen as I write with it. I don't know for sure. I'm still new to fountain pens and fountain pen ink, so I don't fully understand all of the different terminology and everything that people use to describe their inks. But I like how the line is so even when it goes down. There's a lot of ink, and it just, yeah, I guess it just does feel wet when you write with it. Okay, so this is how it looks. So the color, there's a tiny bit of shading. There is. But this color is definitely like the color of evergreens. Very, very green evergreens. And a very pretty color. I like this one quite a bit, actually. And it does still smell on the paper. So there's definitely a fragrance to this. It smells like, oh, how do I describe it? Almost like a cologne scent, but it's not a feminine scent. It's not like flowery and sugary. It's, I would say, leaning more towards cologne or like a clean soap, maybe something like that. Yeah, it's a very nice scent. So here are the 3 papers combined. Okay, so this is interesting. All right, so first of all, you got this almost Christmassy green color here on copy paper. On the HP 32, the color is much smoother and richer, and it almost has like a red or maybe a brown edging of some kind, a little bit in the shading there. And you can really see the shading coming out here in the writing where it goes from green to almost that, like I said, that brown color maybe. And then on the Tomo River, you get the shading as well, but that brown doesn't show up as obviously as it does on the HP 32. I almost like it better on the HP 32 than I do on the Tomo River. This happens sometimes. This is not a very extensive test, of course. I could do some more, maybe try it in some actual pens and see. Because with the dip pen, it may just be that it's laying down a lot of ink and that's affecting how it looks on here. I don't know, but that's really neat. So this is why I like to test it on all 3 papers, because sometimes the results will surprise you, as they definitely surprise me all the time. So this is a beautiful ink. I really like it. The scent is fabulous. This is a really good one. And then here's the swatch that we made. Yeah, it looks right. Okay, yeah, so so you do see that shading. Okay, I think that's supposed to be red. So I guess when the red combines with the green, it makes brown. That makes sense. And down here, you can really see that sheen, I guess is what it is. It just, I don't know, it's really pretty. And you can see how, when you compare it to the Tomo River paper here, and the HP 32, the HP 32 is picking up more of those colors than the Tomo River is, which is really interesting. But this is a beautiful color. So I'll see if I can find more of this and leave a link down below where you can check it out if you'd like. If you did enjoy this, please definitely like and subscribe so you can see more. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.